that definitely was taking kind of just an effect on my mental space and my headspace. I did go through just a brief period of depression. And welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me again. If you are new here, then my name is Mariah, and on this channel I have been recording and documenting my fertility journey and now my pregnancy journey. If you haven't been following along, you can click on this playlist linked up above and it'll get you kind of just all caught up to speed. But in a nutshell, this is pregnancy number 5 for me. I have 0 live births, and a lot of people always ask, do I have like PCOS or endometriosis or anything like that? No, I do not. The only diagnosis I have is unexplained recurrent miscarriage. And since I have been working with a fertility clinic down at Walter Reed, which I believe has been a game changer as far as me making it to this point in pregnancy. If you are a returning tribe member, then welcome back. I am so happy that you guys continue to come back and just shower us with support and lots of love and continue to follow along this journey. I know I have been pretty much MIA on social media in general. I haven't really been putting out many updates on here, and I also just have been essentially off the map as far as Instagram is concerned. But I'm back now, and I'm going to take this time to update you guys on everything that has happened over the last, it's been like 4 weeks now. So pretty much the last month, we're just going to go ahead and cover it, and that way this week we can be all back up to current all in one video. So I'm going to throw a lot at you guys in one video, but it's going to get you all caught up to speed with everything that has been happening over the last several weeks. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so before we get started, real random, but I know you guys are going to ask, I did get my nails done and I did get my hair done. My nails, I really don't know what color they are. This color is by OPI. It's one of the blue colors. They do have it on their website. It's like a really pretty mermaidish kind of color. I'm pretty sure it's something involving like the ocean or the sea or something like that is in the name, but sorry, I didn't look when I went to the nail salon, so I don't know what color they are. I only know the number. And then yes, I did go ahead and get my hair braided just because being so sick over the last month, I really just could not deal with having to do my hair every day, having to get up, style it, do something to it just so I could look presentable. So the best thing for me was to just go ahead and get some braids put in my hair. So that's what I did, and I probably will be for the most part keeping my hair braided just throughout this pregnancy so I don't have to deal with it. I will probably take some breaks in between, but for the most part that's pretty much how things are gonna go. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I do have my little notes here, so if you see me looking down, then that's what I'm looking at, because although I did not record every single week, I did jot down what my symptoms were, what types of things I ate, and just how I was feeling in general. So for weeks 7 and 8, my main symptom was, and really my only symptom was, feeling extremely fatigued and feeling extremely nauseous combined with vomiting. In week 8, I wind up being prescribed Zofran, so the nausea reduced to where I wasn't throwing up every day, but I still felt that constant lingering nausea there. But it was at least somewhat of a relief for me because I didn't have to worry about vomiting or dry heaving, because that's what would happen. Oftentimes I would have only a little bit on my stomach, I would throw that up, and then I would still continue to dry heave, which if you've done that on an empty stomach, you know how painful it is. So the Zofran definitely helped with that. As far as foods were concerned, I was able to do a lot of fruits, mostly mangoes, cantaloupes, and grapes were pretty much in the realm of what I stuck with. I was also able to do Campbell's chicken noodle soup, like their original chicken noodle soup, for just a few days. That kind of worked for me. I really didn't eat the chicken, and I really only wanted it for the taste of the broth, but that was something that was manageable for me to keep down. So I had that a few days before I got tired of it. In the mornings, I pretty much every single day, like clockwork, would wake up and get cinnamon raisin toast with just a little bit of butter on it. That was my staple breakfast item every single morning. I think bread was a great thing for me to have in the morning, but I was so sick of eating just plain bread in general, so the cinnamon raisin toast was not too sweet for me to have in the morning, but definitely something that I could eat consistently and I wasn't getting tired of it, and that was like my main thing. It wasn't making me sick and I wasn't getting tired of it, so that's pretty much what I stuck with daily for breakfast. Otherwise, I would have on occasion cantaloupe, but I would try to go just for the toast to start off with something a little bit heavier on my stomach. Also was able to tolerate potatoes, so really roasted potatoes, potato wedges, and french fries were the main things that I had, and it wasn't like an everyday thing. It was maybe like 3 times over a 2-week kind of period. And lastly, I was able to eat shrimp like 1 or 2 days in week 7, and then in week 8, I was actually on my last day of week 8. I was 8 weeks and 6 days. I was able to tolerate having salmon. The only thing was Jeremy had to cook the salmon outside on the grill because I still, when it comes to any form of meat, the aversion is still extreme. I will physically like start gagging. I will lose my appetite with just the smell of it. Like, it is pretty much, to me, it's a rancid smell. But I let him know, like, if he wants to have meat for himself, if he can cook it on the grill, then that's perfectly fine. But he knows, like, I cannot tolerate it being cooked in the house because then I am like so miserable. So thank you, Jesus. Jeremy has just been pretty much like, cool, I won't cook meat as much as possible so that I don't disturb you feeling any better once you are feeling better. Then in week 9, my main symptom was still just the lingering nausea, and I also added heartburn. I think because I was able to eat just a little bit more variety that week, like I was able to incorporate a few more foods in them. Foods that I did incorporate and did cause heartburn in week 9, and I did try Tums as well as Pepsid, and neither of those worked for me. So I think I tried the Tums on 2 different days, and I tried the Pepsid one day, but I don't really like taking medications if I do not absolutely have to, A, and if B, they aren't having any type of lasting effect or giving me lasting relief. So I tried to take those, but they weren't really working, so I just stopped taking it, and I pretty much decided that throughout this pregnancy, I'm more than likely gonna just have to rock out with the heartburn because the over-the-counter medicines do not really seem to have a lasting effect for me. Now, in week 10, my symptoms did lessen a bit, and that is because my MFM went ahead and told me that I could stop taking the progesterone suppository. So originally I was taking 200 milligrams of progesterone a day, split in between the AM and then the PM. So she told me that, hey, you can just go ahead and stop cold turkey altogether. It's not going to affect anything negatively or positively. It just kind of is one of those things that it is what it is. I told her that that's great, but mentally I feel like I would be more anxious if I didn't just taper off of it. So I went ahead and tapered off of it, and she said that's perfectly fine if that would make you feel more comfortable to do. It's not going to hurt anything, so go ahead and taper off of it. So what I did was just stop taking my AM dose and only took the PM dose. So I was only getting 100 milligrams of that progesterone per day, and I did that for 4 days. On the 5th or 6th day, I think it was by the 5th day I stopped, and by the 6th day my symptoms were starting to lessen. I started to feel like better almost overnight, or at least over a 48-hour period, because I went from having this overabundance of progesterone pumped through my system to just the regular amount I would have without supplementation. So that was really nice to start to feel like I was getting just a little bit of relief as far as those symptoms were concerned, but it didn't last very long. It lasted about maybe 2.5 days before my body started to readjust.
But it was still nice while it lasted.
Other than that, the only other symptom I had for week 10 was headaches. They didn't get to the point of like migraines, but I had a headache for about 3 days, and starting on the first day of the headache, I went ahead and took Tylenol. It did not work. I took the recommended dose, and that did not work. The second day, I tried taking it one more time in the morning, and I still had the same headache, like there was zero relief in it. So I pretty much just gave up on Tylenol in general. So now I'm pretty much like I'm not anti-medication. I'm just like, what's the point? I'm even getting heartburn now, but I'm not going to take anything for it because I already know it's probably not going to work for me anyway. And that's just a waste of me putting something in my system that's not going to work. Zofran thus far has been the only thing that has worked well for me. And like I said, I am tremendously grateful for that because that has been the key in me being able to keep food down. Speaking of food, things I ate over those 2 weeks. So I had, once again, mangoes. Mangoes are still like my favorite fruit as far as I'm concerned. Asian pears, that was something that was a little bit more bland for me, but it had a little bit more moisture in it. I definitely latched onto those for a while. Peaches, apples, watermelon. Ooh, that was a good one. I also added butternut squash ravioli.
If you haven't had it, don't knock it till you try it.
If you're like me and can't do the meats but want something other than like plain pasta or pasta with a red sauce, try butternut squash ravioli. It's very good. It's very mild. It has a subtle sweetness to it. And if you have it with like an Alfredo cream sauce,
it's good.
I also had, surprise, surprise, shrimp Alfredo, but I only had those things like once a week. It wasn't like I was eating them every single day. I had salmon again that week because I figured if I can deal with having salmon and that's the only protein I'm really going to get in, then I'll go ahead and do that. So I did that again. But I typically, when I do have salmon during the week, it's only once a week. Sometimes we have leftovers, but I typically only eat it like one night and that's it for the entire week. I also really enjoy snow peas, mainly because they are a green vegetable that is very crisp and also doesn't have a distinct like flavor to it. Broccoli has a distinct flavor to it. Asparagus has a distinct flavor to them. Brussels sprouts has a distinct flavor to them. But snow peas are one of those things that you can just put a little bit of butter on it or nothing. You can just steam them and put nothing on them. And to me, they taste good. And they also don't stink because I feel like when you cook broccoli, sometimes it kind of has a little funky smell to it. And then the other main green thing that I had was salad. I usually do a small salad that has like the mixed green, so it's not just lettuce, definitely not iceberg lettuce, but not just romaine, it's like the spring mix, that's what it is. So I usually do a salad with a spring mix in it, maybe some walnuts or some sunflower seeds, a little bit of blue cheese, and a little bit of cranberries, and a lot of cucumbers. That is typically what a salad for me most weeks looks like, and I would say I've done that for like the last 3 weeks, probably once or twice a week, but that's a really good way for me to be able to get a vegetable in, because right now vegetables are not on my good side, but I do try to eat them as regularly as I can. Like tonight I'm probably gonna have salmon and Brussels sprouts. Oh, on week 10 I also had mussels. One day I was actually feeling really well, so I figured why not go out to eat for a change. It gives Jeremy a break from cooking and it's a way for me to at least leave the house in some form or fashion. So we went to Bonefish Grill and I got mussels because normally I can enjoy mussels for days. Like I can eat mussels just about every other day and be satisfied. It's about my favorite form of protein that I can possibly get. Unfortunately, mussels didn't necessarily really agree with me in the sense of the texture of them and a little bit the flavor of them. I got through probably about a third of the portion size before I had to stop eating them because I really wasn't enjoying it, but it was still a nice way, like I said, for me to get some protein in it. I think they're also really good for zinc as well. But what I figured out from that experience too was that I needed to ask the kitchen to cook them for a longer period of time, almost overcook them, because mussels are very soft. When they're cooked perfectly, they're very soft and it's very hard to describe the texture because they're not slimy, but they're not quite chewy either, and I prefer them to be, right now at least, on the more chewy side or a little bit more firm at least. So I think that was the main problem that day, but like I said, I was still able to eat it. It didn't make me sick or anything like that, so no harm, no foul. The last thing I had during that week, which comes with a quick story time, is frozen yogurt. That just reminded me of the fact that like I went out for frozen yogurt, or I asked Jeremy to take me to get frozen yogurt one day, and then he says like, oh well, think about what you want to eat for dinner because we can pick whatever up while we're out. And I pretty much had a meltdown. Long story short, I had a meltdown, and he's looking at me and he's like, why are you crying and why are you upset? And I'm like,
because it shouldn't be this hard when it comes to food.
like I was upset, y'all. Like I was in tears. Like my eyes were red and everything, because food for me is normally something that I take pleasure in and really enjoy, but over the last month, food for me has, I won't go as far as saying being a source of stress, but it's been too much. It's been almost too much to have to analyze every single day and think about what you're going to eat, what you're going to be able to tolerate, what's not going to make you super constipated, what's not going to be the worst in the event of you throwing up. Like all of those factors when it comes to thinking about what you're going to be able to keep down too have not been fun over the last few weeks. So I won't say it was as far as like stressful, but it definitely wasn't fun, and it definitely was taking a toll, like, and kind of like just mentally draining. That's the only way I can describe it. And if you've been there, you pretty much know where I'm coming from. If you haven't, you probably think I'm crazy, but I really don't care, because like I said, food is one of those things that while it's for nourishment, it is very hard when you have to consider so many variables when it comes to what you are eating. But I'll come to my own defense and say that that has been like the only solid meltdown that I have had in the past months. So I think I'm doing quite all right. But I think that week everything was just kind of hitting me at once. The fact that I've been feeling so crappy, not getting proper rest, not being able to really eat the things that I actually wanted to eat or had a desire to eat. Even the things that I wound up eating didn't always taste the best to me. And I was also in the house a lot. I've been in the house a lot for the past month, I would say. So I think that definitely was taking kind of just an effect on my mental space and my headspace. I did go through just a brief period of depression. And yes, I can say that because I have dealt with depression quite a few times. I don't know, I want to say a few times. I have dealt with depression on and off in the past, so I know what that looks like and feels like to me. I know kind of how my behavior and my demeanor changes when I'm feeling kind of in that space. And that is kind of where I had been at pretty much weeks. I would say weeks 6 through 11, to be completely honest. For as grateful as I've been and as happy as I've been about like my updates, those have been like the highlights. My appointments have been pretty much the highlights. Seeing heartbeats have been the highlights of pretty much my month, but that's only like a few hours out of, one day every 2 weeks. The rest of that time though is like me feeling kind of trapped in my own space and in the house and not able to be up and about like I'm normally used to being able to just go. And I've had to really slow down because my body just is not allowing for that at this time. So it's definitely been a mental adjustment for me. And I guess I didn't really think about that before, but I guess that is kind of like a symptom in itself, is going through a mild depression, which I didn't expect to necessarily go through during this time, but it is what it is. You can't always control how you feel. I am, however, starting to feel a little bit better now, so that's great, but I am definitely keeping an eye on it. And I also need to schedule another therapy session just to kind of check in and get anything that I'm feeling fully out, and just to kind of work through and talk through her, like why I may be feeling the way I'm feeling. And other than me analyzing it myself, just having someone else to bounce it off of, I think would be good for me. So I am making it a priority to go ahead and get in with her in the next few weeks. I just want to make sure it's during a time where I'm actually able to keep my appointment as opposed to having to cancel it. Quick pause from the symptoms and food to talk about the week 10 appointment and how that went. I told you guys that I was going to go to my MFM appointment at week 10, and we did, and it went absolutely fabulous. My doctor and my sonographer were both fabulous. Both providers were awesome. I loved their demeanor. I loved their attitudes. I love how they spoke to us. I love how in tune they were with us. I love the fact that also they weren't so prepared for what they were going to say that they weren't actually actively listening to our questions and what we were trying to explain to them. I also went ahead and told them that in my previous pregnancy, I did not have a good experience with the MFM I had at that time. It was at a totally different hospital, but I just told them like I need to be able to trust whoever I'm working with. I need to feel good about the game plan that we come up with, and that I'm not going to be met with a whole lot of resistance or, combativeness. Some doctors have been really almost argumentative and kind of aggressive as far as my care has been concerned. So I just really explained to the provider, like, this is what I've experienced in the past, and this is what I'm hoping our relationship can be more like going forward in the future. And that's one of the reasons why I really love Walter Reed, because they were so receptive to everything that I said. They understood exactly what I meant. Both Both providers were women, so they knew where I was coming from with everything. They understood my concerns, especially with being a high-risk patient. So I basically just framed it in a way to tell them that I wanted us to have a great partnership. I wanted to be heard, and I also wanted them to know that I had enough respect for them to take their opinions very seriously and to, in certain situations, be able to compromise on what's going to be the best for my care. I know that was a lot, but all that is to say is that my appointment went fabulous, and I really like the providers that I got, and I hope that I can continue, because I know that in that office they do rotate providers, but I'm really hoping that I can continue to stay with at least one of the same ones, because like I said, that was the best me and Jeremy have ever felt walking out of a doctor's office and walking out of an appointment. And besides, you know, baby being great, it was the best we felt about the care team that we had. So I do have some pictures to show to you guys. I'm gonna scooch up for a minute. All right, so this first one, as you guys can see, baby is pretty much scrunched up and stayed that way for majority of the imaging. And really they only did imaging because I had some bleeding about a week and a half before, and I basically told them, like, I don't think it was anything that was severe, because I opted to not go back into the doctor, even though they told me, like, any bleeding come back. I kind of just played it by ear and was like, I don't think I need to go. I think I can wait till my appointment. So because of that, they wanted to go ahead and do another scan on me, which I told them, like, that was fine with me either way. But I didn't go into that appointment expecting to get a scan either. Back to the pictures, and here's the second photo, and as you guys can see, hold on, gotta point to it first. Right there is a little arm, which I thought was like amazing, because all we had pretty much 2 weeks prior to that was like a little blob. So that was just like, I don't know, so crazy for us to see. Like, me and Jeremy were both staring at the screen like, wow, look at how much development we have had in the last 2 weeks. Our heartbeat now is at 167 beats per minute. So pretty much there you've got an arm right there, then you've got the head, and then the body. And like I said, we still have that nice strong heartbeat, and it's well within the normal range, but on, you know, higher end of normal. So that continues to make us very, very happy. Each step we get further just makes us feel even more secure in where we are right now. So Rain has been doing amazing, like flying colors. In my opinion, this is the best experience that I've had thus far. Like, symptoms aside, I know I talk about symptoms, and I don't know, I guess they are what they are, but they aren't like necessarily fun, so to speak. I am definitely very happy for the experience that we have been having. And I know that while I don't necessarily like all the nausea and all the symptoms, that they are very reassuring to me that things are going well, because on days where they're significantly decreased, I'm like, okay, what's going on? Like, I need to feel a little bit something kicking up. So really, since week 10, nothing has really changed, to be honest. Week 11, I threw up one time, and it was in the morning, and I had some water, and I had some sparkling water with lime to try to calm my stomach down, but I still wound up throwing that up and dry heaving for another 5 minutes after that. So that wasn't fun, but my symptoms have really been the same, just still the nausea, but I do take Zofran less now. I take it for the most part, like I would say 90% of the time I take Zofran now once a day, and I'm also able to be a little bit more active and a little bit more functioning and a little bit more alert in the morning. Like, I actually wake up around about 9 o'clock now versus 11:30, 12 o'clock like I was waking up previously. So I would say that the fatigue has definitely reduced a little bit, at least as far as the morning time goes. And the nausea has also calmed down a little bit to where I feel like I can be a little bit more relaxed when it comes to food, because it's not just about scarfing down whatever I can get down as quickly as possible so that I'm not bringing it back up or feeling yucky. But it's definitely been nice for my symptoms to kind of calm down and take a little bit of a back seat, because then that allows me to be a little bit more active and to get up and get out and do things and actually be able to enjoy my day, essentially. I am currently, as of this week, yes, the week this is posted, the day this is posted, I am currently 12 weeks. So we are all caught back up. You guys are no longer behind or anything like that. And the only thing that I have added this week, I think, has been tuna. So I essentially, basically, during this pregnancy turned into a pescatarian because, yeah, seafood is really the only thing that I am able to reasonably enjoy. And like I said, tonight I'll probably wind up having some salmon and some Brussels sprouts. This afternoon for lunch, before I got on to record this, I had some tuna macaroni salad. I am still not able to really tolerate smelling things being cooked in the house. Like, eggs are starting to become okay, but having stuff like home fries and meats and bacon and things like that cooked in the house, I'm still not really able to tolerate that. But I'm hoping that in a couple of weeks the aversions will kind of lessen more and more, so that I can just stop having, almost like Jeremy, on this like restrictive mode of what he can have in the morning. And also that so that I'm able to start actually incorporating more protein into my diet. Like I said, I am not getting zero protein, but I'm definitely not getting as much as I would like to, and as much as I feel like I actually need to be getting throughout the week. So we'll see in the next couple of weeks. But I know you guys definitely want to see a belly shot and my little bum that I have now, because now it's officially like an actual stomach and like not just bloating. And I swear this happened pretty much like overnight. It wasn't a gradual thing. I think I hit like week 11 and 5 days, and suddenly I had like more of a protruding belly. Now, of course, I've had lunch and have had some things to drink, so my stomach is out a little bit more than maybe it is first thing in the morning. So yeah, I'm happy with my little growing bump. Rain is doing well. Jeremy and I are doing really well. I do want to sit down with him and do a live with you guys, because I know how much you guys tend to enjoy those. So I'll have to kind of see what's going to be a good weekend day for him, but I'll definitely let you guys know. Also, I am going to be doing a TTC giveaway, because yes, sisters, I have not forgotten about you guys. I definitely think about you guys, and I do have supplements and some OPKs and some HCG tests left over that I'm obviously not using. So if I could lessen someone else's financial burden, or, you know, just make it easier on you guys so you don't have to worry about ordering them all the time, then I am definitely willing and wanting to do that. And also, I know some of you are not quite on the OPK train yet either, and are on the fence about trying them out, and I know it's easier for you to try them out when you can get them for free. So I will be putting together a bundle and doing a giveaway with that, and that will be happening pretty soon. I can't give you guys an exact time frame, but it definitely will be happening soon, so make sure you guys are on the lookout for that. Well, that's pretty much all I have to share with you guys today. You already know the drill. If you like this video, make sure you give us a huge thumbs up, subscribe to join our tribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Ladies, I am sending you guys plenty of golden sticky baby dust. I am sending you guys my prayers, lots and lots of love. Congrats to all the new mamas who have recently been getting their BFPs. I've actually had a lot of you comment on the last video to say that you just have found out that you are expecting, so a huge congratulations to you guys. If you are coming up towards the end of your pregnancy, I wish you nothing but a safe delivery for both you and baby. Also, thank you guys so much for sending me all your prayers and lots of love. Quite a few of you, like many of you, messaged me to check on me and see how I've been doing, and a few of you who do have my number have texted me, so I definitely appreciate you all, ladies. I will try to be more consistent moving forward with these videos now that I am on the path to more consistently feeling better. But I definitely appreciate you guys. Those aren't just empty words to me. I really do appreciate you guys' prayers. I know some of you think of us even when I am MIA, and even more so when I am nowhere to be found or heard from. So I definitely am grateful for each one of you in whatever form of support that you have provided us with. So with that being said, I hope you all are having an amazing and wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.